Hi everyone and welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to be talking about The Hole, a psychological thriller by South Korean author Pyun Hye-young. The novel was first published in Korean in 2016 and was released in English by Arcade Publishing in 2017. Translated by Sorta Kim Russell. The book is less than 200 pages long and has been described as a gripping psychological thriller. The novel actually received the Shirley Jackson Award, one of the most respected awards for literature of psychological horror. So even though I hadn't actually heard of the book before, I had high expectations, which were sadly not met at all. But let's take things one at a time. What is the story about? The Hole follows Oghi, a man well into his 30s, if I'm not mistaken, who wakes up from a coma after a fatal car accident. He was driving the car with his wife in the passenger seat and the crash killed her. While Oghi made it out alive, he has been unconscious in a hospital bed for months, and the accident has taken its toll on him. His body is completely paralyzed and his face is disfigured. So his life is turned upside down now that he has not only lost his wife, but also his ability to fend for himself. The thing is that he can't even speak after the accident because his vocal cords and throat are injured and he is still in a fog. He does not remember what happened after the accident or before it. The only family he has left is his mother-in-law. Even though she at first comes across as a devastated woman who has lost her daughter, and later as a caring and composed mother-in-law ready to do anything for Oghi, she becomes more and more unsettling with time. When Oghi finally goes back home, he is confined to his bed, with little to no contact with the outside world. His mother-in-law, who swore she would do anything and take care of him, not only neglects him, but sneers at him, taunts him, and makes hateful comments about his disability, poorly disguised as well-intentioned remarks. She seems to be squandering Oghi's lifelong savings and trying to cut him off to make him feel miserable. And it works. Oghi feels optimistic and then downhearted. He feels frustrated and detached from himself and his body and guilty because his wife died. The novel focuses a lot on body decay and dependency and how they affect Oghi's self-esteem, autonomy, and identity. We learn about him that he was a university researcher who had worked his whole life to get to where he was, but suddenly all these efforts seemed completely worthless. And a huge part of what made up who he was is now meaningless as well. Oghi struggles to accept that his past life and who he really was, or who he used to be, no longer exist. But as time goes by and the situation gets out of hand and his mother-in-law slowly shows her true colors, Oghi starts remembering what led up to the accident. He takes a trip down memory lane and revisits his past, especially his relationship with his wife. His wife was quick-witted and passionate, but never finished any of her projects. The only project that she actually was set on finishing was the house garden. And now Oghi's mother-in-law has taken up this task as if she wanted to finish what her daughter started. And now we get to the part where I have to play the bad cop as usual. It's not a bad book, hear me out. But it is in no way the captivating thriller some people make it out to be. I'm not even sure I'd call it a thriller for starters. There's about as much tension as in a flat line. The only truly exciting bit, in my opinion of course, was the last chapter. And then it was over. There was nothing else to read. That was it. That was the end. You can clearly tell that there's something fishy going on with Oghi's mother-in-law from the beginning. It is as plain as the nose on your face. The friction between the characters had no effect on me. What did was the blatant ableism displayed by all the characters in the book, even by Oghi himself at times. I get that it's essential to the plot and that there's some critique there as well, but I would have liked it if some character stood up for Oghi or something, or I don't know, pointed out that horrible kind of behavior. Half of the book focuses, as I mentioned, on Oghi's identity crisis, loneliness, and disability. The hole that the author refers to in the title of the book is actually this kind of feeling of loss of control and helplessness, but it is also an actual hole, and you'll see why if you decide to pick up the book. The other half centers around his wife, Oghi's wife, and how their relationship was not all roses. It was not what it seemed. And Oghi actually was not such a perfect, beautiful husband or a good person in general. But I'll let you find out about it yourselves. As I see it, it is not a thriller. I have to insist on this. And if it is, it's probably one of the most boring thrillers I've ever read. Call it existential fiction or psychological drama if you must, but thriller is not the right word. Again, if this had been framed differently and I had gone in with different expectations, I might have enjoyed the book more, or maybe I simply wouldn't have read it at all. I don't really know. Have you read the whole or any other novel by this author? Feel free to leave a comment below and let me know what you think about it. That's all for now. I hope you liked the video and I hope to see you all very soon.